Good evening, Lashana. It is actually 7 o'clock.
Yes, it is, sir. Thank you. We are going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, Brentwood homeowners. We're going to call this regular board of directors meeting to order. The time now is 7 p.m. I believe Thomas will be joining us shortly, but we're going to go ahead and move along for the sake of time. Mr. Secretary, would you please take roll call?
Lashana Spencer, President.
President.
Thomas McKeithen, the second.
I am here.
There you
Just
go.
not on video. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Brian Creighton, Senior Secretary, present.
Thank you. Moving on, for the homeowners that weren't in the last call, we tabled the written meeting minutes until we can get those approved. However, an email has went out and all of the board's meetings are available to you on YouTube to watch. So they are available to you. If you see on the agenda, the executive session that will be covered in Barkin's portion of the meeting. We just discussed basically what we were going to discuss here tonight, so we're going to skip that section. And moving on to board items, Brian, if you could help me out with the attachment I sent you. We just wanted to give homeowners an overview of the HOA structure. So everybody understands who's involved and what their roles are.
I'm bringing that up.
And we have an HOA structure that, okay, thank you, that we're going to share with you. Some of you have seen this before. So it was just slightly tweaked to add the management company. And I'm going to go through rather quickly because I do want to get to Barkin's portion of the meeting. But if you have any questions, we can send this out to you. So I'm going to start at the right with the management company. As you know, we have transitioned from Century Management to Barkin Management. We have Michael Feltenberger, who is the Senior Vice President. He is joining us on the line this evening. And also we have Era Ellis Rutledge, and she is our new account executive, formerly known as CAM. You can use those terms synonymously, but Bark uses those terms interchangeably, but they mean the same thing. So for the management company, they are hired or contracted by the HOA to administer the business of the association under the direction of the board. And you can reference the association's declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions, Article 7, for more information on that. But they are your first line of contact for everything. That is what they are contracted and hired to do. So any maintenance requests, concerns, reports, they are your first line of contact. And we will get more into that during their portion of the meeting. Moving over to the left side of the chart, we have the board of directors. And the president is myself. The president of the HOA is a director who holds the officer title of president as required by Maryland law. You can reference Maryland Code, Corporations and Associations 2-412 for that information. We have the secretary. The HOA is a director who holds the officer title of secretary as required by Maryland law, same reference. Treasurer, Thomas McKeithen. And the treasurer of the HOA is a director who holds the officer title of treasurer as required by Maryland law, same reference. So those are the three positions on the board, and the three of us make up the board of directors. Then if you move down, we have the committees, and right now we have 7 committees: Architectural Review Committee, Communications Committee, Community Events, Finance, Landscaping, Management, Safety, and Security.
Then what you think?
Commi-
I don't think she's yelling, all right. I think
Thank you. As a reminder, if you could please leave your lines on mute until the community engagement portion. You can raise your electronic hand at any time during the meeting, but please leave your line on mute until you're acknowledged so everyone can hear the questions and responses. Thank you. The committees are established by the board of directors to assist with meeting the needs of the community. As an official extension of the board, committees work under the direction of the board of directors. Each committee is tasked with conducting recommendations and assisting the board with executing actions related to its assigned area of responsibility. You can reference the bylaws, Article 8, for more information on committees. Then we have the committee chairs, which head up each of their respective committees. The committee chairs are homeowners who volunteer to work under the direction of the board of directors. Chairs are appointed by the board of directors for a 1-year term. The chairs will be subject matter experts for the subject assigned to that particular committee, and will utilize the members of the committee to research a given area, to submit policy and/or procedure recommendations to the board of directors. Responsibilities include managing the committee email account, providing timely responses to email correspondence, conducting regular committee meetings, ensuring committee meeting minutes are submitted for archival, and attending board meetings upon request. And then finally, we have committee members. Committee members are also homeowner volunteers who will work with the committee chair to research a particular subject and assist with developing policy or procedures to present to the board of directors. So that is a very quick overview. Section of the management company and homeowner compensation. We do not get any kickbacks. We have to pay the same HOA fee that you pay. So we are homeowner volunteers, which is another reason why the management company is your first line of contact, because many of us have full-time jobs and other responsibilities, and these are strictly volunteer positions. This structure was set up for a few reasons. One, to provide checks and balances. We heard you when you said, why are there only 3 people making decisions for the entire neighborhood? So we put this structure in place so that there would be checks and balances, so that we could have address all of the concerns for the community. So however, we have had very minimal participation with the communities from the homeowners. So the board and the chairs will be having a meeting next month to discuss the future of the committees. So I would encourage you, if you are interested in volunteering, please reach out to the respective committees so that we can get some more support and keep them going. So that is all for that. Thank you, Brian. At this time, we're going to go to the chairs for their committee reports. I ask that you keep your remarks to 1 to 2 minutes so we can keep moving on the agenda. The order We're going to go in the order that's listed on the agenda. We're going to start with architectural review, Martha Henderson. I thought I saw her earlier.
I think she's muted. Let's see here.
Oh, she,
Yep, there she is. Martha, can you hear us?
mm,
Oh, she's not
Okay.
muted. You want to circle back?
yes. Okay. Martha, we're going to circle back to you. For communications, Brian, could you play, Nicole was unable to join us this evening, but she recorded a wonderful video for you.
Sure. Give me a second here.
Good evening, neighbors. I'm Nicole Moultrie. I am the chair of the Communications Committee, and I am proud to say I work with a group of amazing individuals who for the last year have assisted in helping make sure that information is put out to each homeowner as best as possible through a number of different avenues. In 2023, we are continuing to utilize social media, emails, and even YouTube to make sure that information is given out to our homeowner neighbors. Please make sure you're following us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, Nextdoor, and again, now YouTube, Brentwood HOA Inc., INC, on all of the platforms. We are moving away from the Brentwood HOA Weekly. In 2023, we're going to transition to sending out monthly email newsletters, and the first come out in February. So please be on the lookout for that. Of course, this is not to limit the amount of information that is sent out. It is simply to consolidate the number of emails that you're receiving and to hopefully capture everything in a short snapshot so that it doesn't overwhelm anyone with too much information or too much emailing in one given week. So please be on the lookout for those messages. We do meet bi-weekly. We have a one meeting in the first part of the month where we gather information, we brainstorm, and we work together talking about what we would like to do in our monthly newsletter. And the second meeting will be our work session where we will actually prepare and put together the newsletter that will go out for the upcoming month. If you would like to talk to us, if you would like to join us, if you would like to observe a meeting, we welcome you to do so. Please just email us at brentwoodcommswg@gmail.com. Again, that is brentwoodcoms, COMMSWG@gmail.com. And I just like to take this moment to truly thank those who've been working with me and to thank the board, making sure that homeowners are getting information in the best way possible by expanding our network and sharing through all the different avenues that we're currently using. I look forward to sharing more with you in 2023.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Do we have Martha? Okay. Moving on, we're going to go to community events. Mallory Gore.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me, LaShawna?
Yes.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Mallory
Yes.
Gore. I'm your community events chair. And I wanted to report that we had quite a few successful events in 2022. Just to name a few, we collaborated with Safety and Security to have a successful national night out. And in that event, we allowed homeowners with small businesses to come out and kind of promote their businesses. And I think that was a great turnout. We had our Easter egg hunt. So those are the two, I think, top events that we had in 2022. As for 2023, right now, we do not have any events planned because we need more committee members. We have committee members that do join us to plan events, but the bulk of the work is falling on me, and I need some of the people from these 500 households to help me with these initiatives. So if we can get some more volunteers, hopefully we can plan some more awesome events for 2023. So that's kind of what I have. Please join our committee. And I'm driving, so if someone can put our email in the chat, that would be great. And I would love to hear from you volunteering to assist for 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Mallory. We're going to move on to finance. Michael Spencer.
Good evening. My name is Michael Spencer. I'm the chair of the Finance Committee. And for some of the functions of the Finance Committee, the structure, the meeting cadence, and then our current initiatives. So as far as the function, there are a few main functions that we perform or that would be required of the Finance Committee. That's participating or attending in periodic meetings, preparation of the annual budget, and then providing research and analysis services to the board of directors. As far as the meetings that we attend, there's a monthly meeting that I'll talk a little bit later. There's a quarterly communications meeting. That's the meeting that we're on right now. And then the annual budget meeting. The Finance Committee is required to be at that meeting. As far as the annual budget, we perform reviews of the review and the revenue and expense report. And we do this to help projections when establishing the annual budget. We also provide review and analysis services to the board on financial matters, matters that impact the HOA, such as vendor contracts, and also any initiatives that may impact the finances of the HOA. A new initiative that we're taking on is providing familiarization of the HOA financial matters to homeowners, explain all the different line items within the budget. As a side note, there is, as it was mentioned before, there's a video recording of all of our meetings, and the video recording from the 24th of October contains a line-by-line detailed explanation of every single item that's listed on the budget. So if you have any questions about the budget and how those numbers were obtained, we recommend you listen to that recording. Now, in order to, when we're performing these functions, we collaborate with the Brentwood HOA treasurer in fulfilling these responsibilities. As far as the structure, there's a committee chair and multiple committee members. Homeowners are welcome to become committee members. Plug, plug, plug. As far as our meetings, we meet every fourth Monday of each month at 7 p.m. Our next meeting is the 23rd of January. That's this Monday. The meetings are open to all the homeowners, whether you're a committee member or not. However, if you're a non-committee member, we ask that you hold your questions until the end of the meeting. Now, these opportunity for homeowners to get any of the questions that they have concerning the HOA finances, that's the opportunity to do that. In meetings like this, there's just simply enough time to go in great detail about the budget or any finance issues. But at the Finance Committee meeting, feel free to do a deep dive into whatever you want to know. We don't have very many initiatives so far. The main initiatives we're working on, or that we will be doing, is the management company transition. As you've heard, we're in the middle of a transition into a new management company, and then the development of the 2024 budget, because that time is coming very soon. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to the landscaping committee, Theron Gore.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Theron Gore. I'm the landscaping committee chair. And as such, we also have two members, Rachel and Hans Lassaway are the members, as well as myself as being the committee chair. We are responsible for helping the board and the HOA Barkin maintain the common grounds and areas throughout the community. We really do need membership support and volunteers to help us out. We meet bi-monthly, every other month, the last Tuesday of the month. Our next meeting will be held on February 28th at 7 p.m. Look forward to having as many volunteers as you can attend. Thank you.
Thank you. The management committee is up next. I'm going to speak to that. We are in search of a volunteer to chair that committee. I am intermittently hearing it, desperately needing someone to volunteer so I can move this to someone else. We have not been having any meetings recently because there's no committee and no chair. I did draft the chairs in to help me on a project for the management company, but we are still looking to fulfill that chair position, looking for members for that committee. So there was a message that went out. If you are interested, please email the management committee. We would love to have you join. Next is safety and security, headed by Ernest Jones. I believe he is working this evening. So Brian, did you want to cover that as the board liaison?
Sure, I'll cover this a little bit. So safety and security committee is headed by Ernest Jones. He has some members, homeowners on his committee. Safety and security committee is responsible for looking at better ways to keep our community safe and secured through several different means. They partner with the Charles County Sheriff's Office to ask for more added patrols. They've also offered the daily and nightly patrols to use our parking lot just as a point of where they can do their reports, so they can have some light and be out in the community at night. The Safety and Security Committee has also championed a couple of reports that we receive monthly. One is called City Protect, and the other one comes from the Charles County Sheriff's Office. It is a monthly crime report that is sent out through the comms. I will have to get back to everybody about the meeting cadence for the Safety and Security Committee, but I will make sure that comms will send out their meeting cadence within the next few days. That's all I have.
I muted myself, sorry. Thank you, Brian. So again, as a reminder, homeowners, you can raise your electronic hand at any time. There is going to be a portion towards the end of the meeting where you can ask questions about the committees or anything else that has been discussed. We ask that you keep your line on mute until we call upon you so everyone can hear the question and the answer that's received, and that that portion will be later in the agenda. So at this time, without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Barkin. We have Michael Feltenberger with us and Era Ellis Rutland with us. And I'm not sure who's going to go first, but I will turn the floor over to you at this time.
Thank you, Lashad. I'm happy to go first. My name is Michael Feltenberger, and I head up Barkin Management. It is our great pleasure to welcome you into our portfolio. Now, I want to start off by saying first impressions are important. And on a couple communication issues, we've not performed at a level I wish we had performed as it relates to communications with Brentwood. We're going to correct that. We are in the process of correcting that, and we're going to get better. At the end of the day, I have my team who I have a lot of confidence in. I want them to do the best they can every day. And I want them to look in the mirror and say they've worked as hard as they can every day. And tomorrow I want them to find a way to do it better. So we dropped the ball on a couple of pieces of communication, and we're going to fix it. I do need to let you know about a couple of things that we're working on that I don't necessarily know that we have resolution yet. But then I'll come back and give you a little history of myself, a little history of the company, and then I'll turn it over to Erin to tell you a little bit about herself and how she operates, and then we'll turn it back to LaShawna. We've sent out notices for Barkin's portal. And you'll notice everybody we've emailed them and we've mailed them. You'll notice if you've gone in to log in that the banner across the page says Condo Cafe. I want everybody to understand, we understand you're not a condominium. Condo Cafe is a product of our accounting software, which is tied to it's tied to Yardi, and it's their branding. We are looking to see if we can change that branding for Brentwood, but we may not be able to. One piece I'm pretty confident we can change is as you log into ClickPay, you'll see a line that says common area fees. This is simply the GL code that was selected for your community. And it's consistent across our portfolio. We're going to change that to reflect something closer to HOA fees. So just there's no confusion, but I want to let you guys know, we own those communication errors. We're going to fix them, and we'll communicate clearly moving forward. The other thing you'll notice about the portal, Eric mentioned it to me today. We've seen a couple people report issues with leaks in their houses or maintenance within your lot. Barkin is here to manage the common area of the association, to pay the association's bills, collect the association's assessments. Anything dealing with the inside of your home or the exterior of your home is homeowner responsibility. So to the extent that you're under warranty with the builder, we want you to go back to the builder, or we need you to go back to the builder. And we'll put communications forward to provide important numbers so that you easily can track down the maintenance division to seek warranty repairs. To the extent there are issues in the common areas, street lights out, fencing down, maintenance issues, potholes in the roads. You're a little new for potholes, but you could have them. We want you to report it through the portal because it provides tracking. All those maintenance requests go straight to ERA. It shows when ERA received the request and as ERA updates the request as it goes through the process. That tracking is incredibly important to ensure we have timely completion of projects. So that's a little bit about process, our introduction. Again, communication has not been great moving forward. It will get better, I assure you. A little bit about myself. I'm a 40-year resident of Prince George's County. I do this all day long. I run a management company, and then I go home and I'm the board president of a 1,200 home HOA. So I understand how your board feels when management drops the ball or when management doesn't follow through with tasks. And so my job, our job, is to make sure the board and your committees are in a position to govern, to make decisions. And that's what we're here to do. And we'll work with everybody to ensure that your meetings are efficient, they're productive, and nobody feels like they're managing except for Era and myself and anybody else from Barkin who may appear on the team. A little bit about Barkin. Barkin started in 1964, so they're the same age I am, which seems crazy. In Boston, Mel Barkin started as a developer and morphed into a management company as market changed. I was hired from Legerman Norman, where I was the vice president in 2010, to open the company here locally. We've gone from 0 clients to 54 and just under 12,000 units. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my portion of the meeting, we're excited to have you as part of our portfolio. We are looking to continue our growth, and you play an important role in it. So it's important we get things right. With that, I'll turn it over to Era. Era is the account executive, the portfolio manager, if you will. Era will be the day-to-day liaison between the community, the board, and Barkin. Era will, we've circulated her email address. We're happy to circulate it again. But as I mentioned, Era receives all the work orders that go into the system and will be meeting with the board frequently to ensure the goals of the board are being met. So with that, I'll turn it over to Era. Era can tell you a little bit about herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Era, and I want to reiterate what Michael said. We are honored to represent your beautiful community. I've driven through a bunch of times. I live just 15 minutes away, so it's great to see the property, and just to drive through. You guys are really friendly. People actually wave when you drive through, so it's just a breath of fresh air, just driving through there and seeing what we're representing. So a little about myself. I have been in the industry for almost 20 years, and I've managed buildings from, condos to single families to rental properties. So I've been through different types of properties in the industry, and I'm really excited to represent you guys. And as Michael said, I am your direct contact. So if you need anything, submit those work orders and I will jump on them right away. I can promise you a 24-hour turnaround, at least for a response. And of course, if there's any emergencies, I'm going to actually put my contact in the chat as well. And you guys can contact me directly if it's anything outside of a work order, but I'm here for you and I look forward to representing you guys.
Thank you, Era. Madam President.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if you guys were done. Thank you very much. I appreciate that presentation. At this time, we are going to go to the community engagement portion.
You're breaking up the show.
On the agenda. On this part and do the community engagement. I'm having some connection issues, I guess. Brian?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you take over for me? I have a bad internet connection for the community engagement, please. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. So for homeowners that would like to speak, go ahead and raise your digital hand and we will call on you in the order. So right now we have Craig. He has his digital hand raised. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Craig.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I have two questions. Mr. Michael, you say you stay in the community. Is your community HOA or condo?
It's an HOA.
So why are we got to sit up on a condo meaning or condo heading and you say it can't be changed? Because I have an issue with that, and let me explain why.
Okay.
VA, when you identify anything with condo, it goes up on a different standard. Now, I'm not satisfied with this condo and it can't be changed. I'm not a condo, and this community is not a condo.
Well, let me take a step back. I'm the president of an HOA. That HOA is not managed by Barkin. Excuse me. I mentioned that simply to illustrate that I've been in the same position as your board in terms of trying to get things done and working with management. And I look at things from the perspective of a board president. That's the context in which I mentioned my association. I understand completely what you're saying in terms of the banner across the portal. We are looking for ways to address that, but it's not our software. So we need to work with our partners to try to find a solution. We fully understand that you're not a condominium, although our first communication did not make that clear. We understand you're an HOA, we understand your legal structure, and we're going to treat you as an HOA, not a condo, despite what the banner across the portal may say. But to the extent we can resolve it, we will resolve it.
Well, I got you, sir, but this should have been identified before we even started this. I don't even understand why we are even allowed under condo banner. Now, I mean, you could change all the wording inside of that, but in your opening statement, you said because of the software, you may not be able to change it.
I believe in full disclosure. I don't want to mislead you and say next week we're going to have it changed, because I don't know that to be the case. There are things that are beyond our control, and to the extent the board either wishes to continue using that portal or transition to a different portal, that's a different discussion, and I don't believe is one for tonight. But we are looking to see what we can do and exert upon our partner changes they may be able to make.
I mean, that's the issue that I have right now.
I understand, and we'll work.
And if the board knew this and it couldn't be changed, were they aware it couldn't be changed when they selected you?
It didn't come up. It didn't come up as part of the selection or the interview process, and quite honestly, it wasn't something we necessarily would have thought of. Although let me take a step back. We did have a similar discussion regarding the management of a cooperative. But keep in mind that portal, its functionality has nothing to do with whether or not it's a condo or an HOA. The differentiation between a condo and HOA is the legal structure of the entity. We understand the difference between those entities, and the banner has no impact on that understanding. But I get your point. I accept your point. And to the extent there can be a resolution, we will bring a resolution.
Well, you're saying if they can, they operate two separate entities, but you cannot align both of them the same. I mean, I'm not going to beat this dead horse, but I'm just saying this is an issue for me.
I don't know that we're trying to align anything. I'm just
well. Still, you was chosen, and I again, everybody may have their own opinion, but I have a problem with it.
I understand.
So-
I appreciate your input.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Craig.
Thanks, Craig. So Craig, let me say this. We've met with Barkin, LaShawna, Brian, and we've met with Barkin, and the same sentiments that you have communicated is we have expressed that verbally and in writing. And so what I just asked is just give them the opportunity to see if we can fix the branding and put some measures in place. Okay. I think
Yes, sir.
we're all on the same page.
I will do that, sir. But
Mhm.
if it don't get fixed, what's your next option?
We will advise, but we've made that perfectly clear to them that we need to have that issue rectified. To your point,
Okay, thank
messaging
you.
and branding is very, very important. You're
Okay,
absolutely
thank
right.
you, sir.
Thank
You're
you,
quite
Mr.
welcome,
Craig.
Craig. You're welcome.
Next homeowner, DC.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've been on here, so I see there's been a lot of changes. But I still have a crazy question that I had months ago from the last time that I was on here, and I see we have a new management company. I live here at 3418 Yarnell, which is the first court as you pull into. And I'm so happy to see that trailer and everything is gone behind my house, but there's still another trailer there. And what are the current plans for that piece of parcel that is behind 3418 and 3419?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, your name again, sir?
It's I'm Derek Campbell.
Derek.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Campbell, that property does not belong to the HOA. That property belongs to the developer. We don't know what the next steps for that property is at the current time. We do know that they are building out additional roads, and they have plans to add additional 32 lots in the coming future. But for that parcel of land that is directly behind you that had that trailer and I believe some more other items there, that property does not belong to the Brentwood Homeowners Association. We will try to find out through the developer what the next moves are for that property, sir.
Okay. And then I see that we've done an awesome job with keeping the doggy bags for us dog owners filled, but somehow we got to get the message for our good residents of this community. And I think there are some residents that are walking over from another community, their dogs leaving their droppings all over the place. Me being a dog owner, I see that a lot. And it's quite annoying that people know that they have dogs and they're actually walking them in and they're using the bag and not picking them up. So I don't know if there's some kind of signs that we can put up. Please pick your dog's doo-doo up or something, but it is very annoying to see that happening on a regular basis.
Yes, sir, Mr. Campbell. Thank you for that observation. The board will take it under advisement. Thank you. Next up, we have Raquel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all of you had a great, happy new year to everyone. I just have a quick question about the portal. Actually, I have two. First I want to start off with saying welcome, Barkin.
Thank you.
Click to pay portal doesn't work. Don't know if you all discussed this before I even joined, but when I go to click on it, I get a oops from the website. And I also received two emails. One was the instructions for the click to pay. I think that was like January 4th. And then the second email I received was January 17th. And it was another portal for me to register in. I think it was called Resident Services. It shows a balance of $197 as of January 1st, but that particular portal does not allow me to make any payments. So I guess my question was, when is the payment actually due? Is that $197 the quarterly payments that I'm going to be paying? Because it says something about a fee, like resident land fee or something. I didn't understand it.
So let me take the first part and then I'll turn the mic. So
Okay.
just for as you know, as everyone knows, when we approved the budget for 2023, the annual assessment fee is $788 annually. What the board decided to continue to do is to allow people that we will bill the assessment over the 4 quarters. So, quarterly in quarterly installments. So we went to quarterly instead of annual billing. So the $197 that you see that is the part of your balance is the quarterly assessment that was due on January 1, 2023. And so the next one will come out April 1, July 1, October 1. And so that's how the annual assessment will be apportioned. Now, there is no harm in remitting all $788, at one time or over, throughout the year, but we do bill quarterly. Okay, does that help you, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. So to the other questions, there were 2 logins that were sent. One is to set up your account with ClickPay. If you're receiving an error message, if you're having difficulties making a payment, if you're having difficulties navigating their website, Naomi Rivera's contact information is in that letter. Feel free to reach out to her. She will resolve the issue quickly. The second piece was a login to the portal we just discussed, which gets you, once fully populated, will get you to the association's records. You can see your ledger through there, but you're correct. You can't make a payment through the ledger. You need to go through ClickPay.
Okay, so I have to contact Naomi in order to get a payment made, or?
Well, no, if you're having difficulties navigating ClickPay, if you're getting an error message.
No, it's not navigating. I can't even get in. Like when the link that she sent to ClickPay, and I'm not sure if anyone else is having the issue, but I saw someone making a comment about they couldn't get in either. You can't even get to the site.
I understand that. If you go to Naomi's contact information, and I can put it in the chat, which was included with that letter, she can help you with all those issues.
Okay.
But I'll put her contact information in the chat.
Are you right? But are you understanding what I'm saying? Like, when
Absolutely.
okay, okay. Because when I type in that web address, or even I clicked on the link, you can't even get inside of it. It's like, oops.
I completely understand. Naomi.
Oh, okay. This one, okay.
No, it's quite all right. It's a good question because the questions come up a couple of times in the chat. So, but
Mike, just as a
Naomi can assist.
Hey, Mike, just as a FYI, maybe can you take an action to see if there's a way to, so that folks want to they go out to the portal first, right? If they couldn't drop a link on the homepage of the portal so that they can just hyperlink to the click pay environment.
Yeah, I can see we do that.
Let's see if we can do that to make it easier for the users, so they know that we go, we sign into the portal, and then they can click on the click pay link, so it's a seamless experience. Let's see if we can take that as action.
Absolutely, we can see if we can do that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, thank you. That was all I had. Thank you, everyone, for sending me messages in the chat. I will do that. Thank you again.
Thank you, Raquel. The next homeowner is Wentz.
I have two questions for Michael, and then I'll have one for the HOA, the boards. I noticed there's a lot of like double parking in the area. Is that an issue you'll be dealing with, Michael, or is that something for, I don't know, somebody else?
It depends. Our job is to, as it relates to parking, as it relates to issues like that, is to enforce your documents. We're in the process of going through your documents, learning your community. To the extent double parking, but let me take a step back. In many instances, there's a combination of county streets and private roads within communities. So if somebody's double parked on a county street within a community, it is up to local police to enforce that parking. If the association has a parking policy, a parking resolution that says you can park in these areas, but not in these areas, then it's our responsibility to enforce that. So as we get into your community and start learning more about your community, I'll be in a better position to accurately answer that question. But if you report an issue and it's not the association's responsibility to resolve, and by extension of the association, I mean barking, because ultimately we need to resolve those issues, then we're going to report back to you and say, hey, we're not the proper avenue to resolve this issue. However, here's where you go to resolve it.
Okay, thank you. And then my next question is, I noticed that we keep having, like, I think the young lady said earlier about the bills, and I also logged in and saw the 190 something. However, I had a balance previously for to cover this year HOA, and it hasn't been transferred over. Do you know when that will happen, or do they need to send us back the money and then we pay you guys?
No,
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, we're gonna share this one. So Mike and I are working together. We're working together to reconcile we have all those balances, right? And so if you had a balance from last year, just give us. I think we've targeted end of January. Mike, keep me honest.
Yes.
So we kind of target to kind of get those balances reconciled from Century. So there was a number of folks who had prepaid funds from last year. It was about $25,000 of prepaid funds, across the association. So those balances will be updated. So just give us until the end of the month so we can get all that reconciled. Did that help you, ma'am?
Yes, that does. And then this is my question for the HOA, preferably the top three on the board. That's always saying hi. If you're on the board holding you guys' position, do you pay the HOA fee, or are you subjected to all of it or not all of it?
No, we got to pay all of it, ma'am.
We pay all of it.
Every bit.
Every penny.
Hey, so listen,
Every
listen.
penny.
So Brian and I, we had this robust discussion about the fee last year, and we all were just kind of sitting back. Even when we had to increase the fees, we were like, oh yeah, we got to pay this too. So just know that every decision that we make, we in this space, we definitely know what the impact is. Isn't that right, Brian?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that, we're all paying our HOA dues. I noticed that it always seemed like in the last meeting we had last year, there was like 17 or 16 houses that didn't pay. And we didn't come up with a resolution on how we, not give them all the benefits. And I didn't
Ma'am,
know
this
if
is
it's that because you guys probably didn't pay, you wanted everybody to still have the benefit, because I can't understand why I am still paying to still make sure Tom, Dick, and Harry that's not paying still get all the benefits.
now, let me explain. I think I explained that at the budget meeting, but I will explain it again. First of all,
Oh, no, you don't have to explain it again. I can wait till the
no,
budget meeting. but
no,
thank you.
I'm going to answer your question because I want you to understand what really happened, right? So we walked into the homeowners took over the association in December of 2020, 2021. We had a $58,000 delinquency of bad, homeowners who hadn't paid. It came down some, but so we had to institute something, right? So when we did the FY 2023 budget, we recognized that the previous board did not account for the risk, right? How many homeowners really don't pay annually? And so that's the 16 or so homeowners that you're saying did not pay. No, what we did this year is to try to mitigate our risk by saying our doubtful accounts is going to be 16, 17 homeowners or something like that. But however, the reality of it is that there are more homeowners. There are more than 16 homeowners that do not pay or have not paid. And so we have about a $52,000 delinquency rate right now, and those people are being dealt with by the attorney. And it just didn't get this way overnight, but that's what happened. So with respect to services, this association really doesn't have any amenities, like major amenities where we can go in and say, oh, you can't use the clubhouse because you didn't have, you didn't pay your fee. We don't have those things. So any services that we offer are for the common areas and to pick up your trash. Those are the major services that we have: landscaping and trash and management. And so there's nothing else to kind of cut, right? To say a homeowner, can't participate, unfortunately. Does that help you?
Not really, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what, yep.
Exactly, it is what it is. So that's why I say you really didn't have to answer, because at the end of the day, it is what it is.
We're working on it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Wentz. Next person, Ivy Martin.
Thank you all for this meeting. Thank you all for the job that you all are doing. We appreciate it. I know it's hard because you're trying to take care of a whole development and it's just the three of you all. Thanks to have Barkin come along. But my question is for Barkin. I paid the $788 through the click and pay. And just like people said, it was very hard for me to get in there. But I talked to Naomi and she did walk me through it. So if you call her, she will help you to get to the right place. And once you get into, because when I first went in, it had Century's name still on it and click and pay. So the initial thing takes you to Century, click and pay. And I didn't want to pay there because it should say Barkin. So when I called Naomi back, she walked me through it and I got to the right one. But now I'm looking at the portal, and even though I paid the whole $788, it says the balance amount is negative $591. So I don't know what that means.
That means you have a credit on your account.
Oh, okay, so you all just don't go ahead and take it off. You'll just continue to.
Right, because the quarterly assessment is billed on a quarterly basis. So if you pay the whole thing for the year, it's going to show you having a credit balance, which will then decrease as each quarter is applied.
Oh, okay, so I don't have to worry, I just
No,
know
ma'am.
that it's paid.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's all I was, okay. Thank you all very much.
You did raise an important thing that I want to just address real quick. When we first started the transition with Century, we didn't realize they had ClickPay as well. And so
Yeah.
that's part of the communication issue, in that everybody has saved links and they have access to a link that they're used to going to. And ours points to in a different direction. So that is part of confusion and part of the difficulty. But as you mentioned, Naomi's great. She's our AR manager. If she can't fix it, likely can't be fixed. But in 12 years, I've seen her solve virtually every problem.
She did, but when if you follow the information on that letter, it takes you to in, like it says, because we used to be in Century, that click and pay information will take you to Century. But talking to Naomi, she showed me how to get to the other one. So that's what everybody may have to do.
I think that issue may have been resolved.
Okay.
I can certainly check though.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Next homeowner will be Wilma.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say you guys are doing a good job. I've been living over here for 15 years, and this is my first time even getting on one of these meetings. And I want to thank you guys for that, because I can see some improvement. I was able to get into ClickPay. I just wanted to know, did you guys mail the bills out to us, or did you email them out? Because I never got a bill. So I didn't even know it was due. I asked one of my neighbors and she was telling me that they received something. I didn't get anything.
We sent out notices, but the ClickPay registration, well, let me take a step back. The ClickPay registration was mailed out to everybody. I mean, in two ways, because the initial wave didn't capture all the homes, and the person who mailed it didn't make the connection that there was some that weren't captured. Okay. So a second wave of letters then went out. The registration to the portal was emailed and mailed. To the extent we can email things, we plan on emailing things, which is why it's important that we have everybody's email address.
Okay, that's fine. But I was able to I didn't have any problems with that. I was just wondering when the bill I didn't receive anything.
Ms. Wilma, you're breaking up.
No, I said I was just wondering when did the bill go out, because I didn't receive anything.
Got it.
Okay, so I'll get it paid. I was able to log in earlier today, and I didn't have any issues getting in, so it's not a problem.
Thank you, Ms. Wilma.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next homeowner that has their hand up is Mr. Craig. So Mr. Craig, we're gonna limit your talking points to 2 minutes, sir.
Why is that?
Because we're trying to wrap this up, sir.
Okay, so why now we're putting limits on homeowners?
Well, no, sir. I mean,
are we putting limits on homeowners?
No, I'm not putting a limit on homeowners.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead,
so
sir.
please don't do that. Okay. All right. Quick question though. The reason I chimed back in was did they ever decide whether they're gonna extend the payment period without penalty to the end of the month?
I'm gonna let Thomas speak on that. Thomas, would you like to take this one?
Can you repeat your question? I didn't hear you, sir. I'm sorry.
No, I was asking, was they extended the payment period to the end of the month without penalty?
So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're committed to. We're gonna send a communication around what we're gonna do about late fees, right? Because we recognize that the transition is not complete. So you'll get something in the next couple of days about how we're gonna handle late fees for Q1 2023.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I will say this before I get out the phone off the line here. I will tell you, Mr. Clayton, I'm very feel very disrespectful for what you said. Because if that's a standard across the board, then make it plain in the front, okay?
Yes, sir. Next homeowner, we have Shaw Dawn. Hope I did your name.
Good afternoon. I just want to make sure I'm clear. If you had a balance that was from the previous HOA company, we won't have to pay the 197 until the balance transfer over. I just want to make sure I'm not late on it.
No, so we're gonna reconcile your balance. And I'm trying to, I know I'm trying to be very vague because I'm trying not to get to individual homeowner issues. So if you had a balance where it said you owed money to the association, that will transfer and that will be applied to your balance with Bark, on the Martin side. If you had a credit balance where it said you don't owe the association any money, that balance will be transferred as well. And the quarterly assessment will be applied to the credit balance. So what we're saying is give us to the end of the month so we can reconcile all the data, and hopefully everything will be updated by the end of the month. Now, I'll stop there.
Okay, thanks. I have a credit balance, so I just wanted to make sure I'm not late on anything.
No, so
everything will transfer.
It's all transfer.
Okay.
Good, bad, or indifferent. It all will
what?
transfer.
If it doesn't
Okay, thank
transfer,
y'all.
if it doesn't transfer, Mike will give you some of his money, and he will. and Brian will too.
I'm tapping Aaron's money.
You're gonna take Aaron's money. There you go.
Welcome. Next homeowner is Mr. Craig. Do you have your hand up again?
No, I don't have anything else to say to you, sir.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and. All right, Madam President, that looks like all the hands.
I'm here.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm on two different devices. I had to try to work that out. Sorry
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on with my internet.
I'm sorry. I think we have another homeowner.
Okay.
Raquel?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so confused right now. Okay, real quick, this ClickPay. I'm getting conflicted information. So am I logging into the ClickPay that we previously had, or that's just forget about that one, period?
Forget about that one, period.
Okay, and the new ClickPay, I need to call Naomi, correct?
Yes, she will walk you through the process.
Okay, I am good there.
But I'm happy to hear it.
Thank you.
All right.
Quite welcome.
All right, Madam President, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you. Is that another hand, Brian?
That's the same hand.
That's the same.
No, it's my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's Rachel.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Rachel.
Good evening.
Good evening. I know you guys aren't reading the chat a little bit, so I just wanted to make a suggestion. Is it possible? Welcome, Barkin. Can we have Naomi come to a meeting or something for us computer challenged in all this?
It's in fairness to Naomi. Naomi's is in Boston, and she works 9 to 5, and so she typically is not available for evening meetings. But again, she will make herself available if somebody emails her or calls her.
And I just want to add, I've spoken with a couple of people as well about this issue, and a lot of people, the best thing is to clear your cookies and remove the previous link that you were using, because now when you use ClickPay, it should be ClickPay-Barkin. So you should no longer have the previous management company's name up there. So I would say if everyone tries to clear their cookies first on their browser, you shouldn't have this issue.
All right, so that's not helpful for some of us untech savvy folks, but I would need I have a question. So again, I'm gonna ask about like the late fees, like for January would seem a little unfair at this point,
So Rachel,
but I'm just gonna throw that out there.
so Rachel, you have,
Talk to you
listen,
later.
you let me, I'm gonna restate what I said. I know everybody, we all in this transition together. Please give LaShawna, Brian, and I the opportunity to align. And we're going to put out a communication in terms of how we're going to handle the Q1 late fees. Those of you who have balances and have not been paying, remit your funds. Those who have been good homeowners and have been, remitting, go ahead and pay your assessment. But we will get a communication out in the next couple of days around this topic. I promise you. Promise you we will. Okay.
Thank you,
All
Rachel.
right. All right. I do not see any more hands up. So I want to thank Era and Michael for joining us this evening. I want to thank all the homeowners for joining us, and everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your time. The time now is 8:05 p.m. and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.